We're going to look at recursive formulas. In recursive formulas, you're going to see a lot of these A's. So let's talk about some of the A's you're going to see. If you just see, let's say A, it has a little N on it. This stands for, think of N as number. That's not what it actually stands for, but it just stands for any number. It's some number that we don't know yet. So in the formula, you're always going to see an AN somewhere. This is basically my answer. This is what I'm looking for. A to some number. I don't know. If it has a number, then that's your term. So that's the first number because it's A with a little 1. There's a little 2, then that's the second number. There's 3, then that's the third number. Once the N gets replaced with a number, it then stands for that term. N right now stands for any number, and I don't know what it is. Okay, so just for example, let's make a really simple sequence. We're going to do, tell you what, let's not do that. Let's do evens. I'm going to do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, here's a sequence of numbers. AN can stand for any of them. I don't know which one. A1, well, that's 2 because that's my first number. A2 is 4 because that's my second number. A3 would be 6 because that's my third number, and so forth and so on. You'll also notice in some of these formulas, there are these little like N minus 1s. Well, this tells me any number. So A N minus 1 means 1 before that one. And we can actually throw other like quantifiers on here. So I can do A N plus 1. That's the one after it. Or I could have A N minus 2. That's 2 before it. So let's just say AN was not actually AN. Let's say AN was A3. Okay, the A3 is 6. We already figured that out. AN minus 1 would be the one before it. Well, the one before it is 4. AN plus 1 would be the one after it. Well, the one after the 6, that's the 8. AN minus 2, that's the one 2 before it. So if 6 is it, then I go back 2 spaces, and the answer to that is 2. So these are just telling you locations along well, it's a sequence. I don't want to call it a number line. But you've got this sequence of numbers, and these tell you the location of those numbers. If it's an N, it's not known yet what number it is. And then any quantifier just tells you how to move from there. So go 1 backwards, go 1 forward, go 2 backwards. And we don't have enough numbers here, but you could even have something like AN plus 14. Then you would go find your number, and you go 14 more, and then you would find your answer. Now, unfortunately, they don't give us a sequence of numbers. They gave us the first number, so I know my first number, that's 14. They gave me a formula, and then they told me to find the second number. Well, I know the first number is 14. If I want the second one, my little formula right here says take the one before it. So the one before the one I'm actually looking for is going to be 14. See, I'm looking for 2, so one before that would be 1. So I'm going to take 14 and put right here. So I'm just going to write this equation, but instead of AN minus 1, I'm going to put 14 because that's the number before the one I'm looking for. And then I put the minus 3 that was in there and press enter, and that's 11. So A2 is actually going to be 11. All right, if I want to find A3, I go to my formula. It says take the term before it. Well, the term before A3 was A2, so that's 11. And put it right here and do minus 3. So I'm going to do 11 minus 3 and press enter, and it's 8. So A3 is 8. So that's basically all we're doing. I want to find the second term. That's what it asked me for. So I'm going to multiply 8 times the term before it because of the minus 1. Well, the term before it is 1, and that's a 2. So I'm going to do 8 times 2. And that makes 16. All right, if I want to find A3, Then I have to go to the term before A3, which would be A2, so 16, and multiply it by 8. So we do 8 times 16, and that makes 128. We just keep going, but notice this one asked for A3, but it didn't ask me for A2. But my formula is to find the one before it times 7. So in order to find A3, I have to find A2 because I need the one before it in order for my formula to work. So let's find A2. Well, if I want to find A2, I take the one before it, A1, which is a 1, and I put it right there. So I would do 7 times 1, and then make 7. So A2 is 7. All right, if I want to find A3, I take the term before it, which we just figured out was 7, and I multiply it by 7. So I do 7 times 7, and I get 49. Same thing. I want the third term, but I need the second one because my formula is use the one before it. So if I want the third one, I need the second one to find it. So let's find the second one. I take the one before it, which in this case is going to be a 2, and I do 3 times that. So 3 times 2 is 6. So my second term is 6. I take 3 times 6, and that gives me 18. So my third term is 18. All right, and these just keep going the same way. So let's minimize that. Let's actually jump ahead a little bit. Calculator. There we go. Okay, so now it's asking me for 3 terms. I want the third term, the fourth term, and the fifth term. So I need the first term and the second term, which are right here. And then I have a formula. If you look at my formula, it says we're going to take the term before it. So if I want to find 3, I take the term before it, which is 1, plus, and then I need to go back 2 terms. So if I'm at 3, back 2 terms puts me at the first one, which is 0. So 1 plus 0 gives me 1. Darn it. Switch. 1. All right, I want to find the fourth term. So my formula says take the one before it, that's a 1, and add to it the one 2 terms before it. So if I'm at 4, 2 terms before that, it's going to be 1. So that's 2. All right, I want to find the fifth term. So take the one before it, which is a 2, and add to it the one 2 before it, which is 1. Press enter. That's 3. Did it again. 3. There we go. Same thing here. Now we're going to find the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth term. There's the first term. There's the second term. And we've got a little formula right here. So my little formula is negative 2 times the term before it. So since I'm looking for 3, the term before it is 2, and that answer is negative 3. Plus 2 times 2 terms before it. Since I'm looking for 3, 2 terms before that would be 1, and that's a negative 2. And we just put in 2. I hope this, I did it again. I hope this makes sense. It's fairly simple, but sometimes it can be really confusing with the terminology. All right, so the fourth one, we're going to do negative 2 times the term before it, which was a 2, plus 2 times the 2 terms before it, which is negative 3. And that's negative 10. Hit it again. Negative 10. Okay, stop that. I want the fifth term, so I take negative 2 times the one before it, which is going to be negative 10, plus 2 times the one that's 2 spots before it, so that's going to be the second term, which is negative. No, not negative. Well, I did not mean to do that either. It is just not my day. Sorry. All right, the one 2 before it, so negative 10, that would be 2. that gives me 0. I did it again. Maybe I won't do it on the last one. Okay, and then we want to find the sixth term, so we do -2. N minus 1 is the term before it, so the term before it was 0, plus 2 times 2 terms before it. Well, 2 terms before it would be -10. It gives me an answer of -20. Okay, so it says something went wrong. So what could have possibly gone wrong in all that wonderful work? That's not what I wanted either. All that lovely work I just did. If you get something wrong, there's an explanation. You have to scroll down. You can see I put, says the correct answer is 2, -10, 24, -20. So I got this one wrong, which then threw the other ones off. Well, so how did I get this one wrong? Well, right. Why are you deleting my stuff? I want to go back and show. Right here, you can see I got -20 and 0, and these are not right. Should have been 24. So let's see if we can scroll up. So -10 was in the 5th spot, 4th spot. That was fine. Oh, well, you can see right here. This one is the one that should have given me an answer of 24, and I didn't do -10. I stupidly did 2. All right, so let's go back and see if we can fix this. So if I do -2, and then let's put that -10 in there, plus 2 times 2. Oh, look at that. We get 24, which was the correct answer for that one. Wish that would fit on the screen. And I got the wrong one, which is then going to throw off the last one. But it's okay, because I learned from it. I made a mistake. Put this back. Because I was going too fast, and I didn't check what I was doing. You can also see there's an explanation here. Basically the same thing we were doing in the calculator. They just do it by hand. Okay, so let's try one again. And actually, let's go ahead and let's bump her up a level. Maybe another one. Okay, let's try this one. Let's clear this out. Clear that. Okay, we want to find the third term. So my formula says take the one before it. That's a -3. Plus 2 times the a n minus 2, which is the one 2 before it. So that's a 4. Times 4. All right, that gives me 5. All right, for the fourth one, we're going to take the term before it, which is 5, plus 2 times the 1, 2 before that, which is going to be -3. And that's -1. When will I learn? Okay, and then we want to find the fifth one, which is the one before it, which is a -1. And then the one 2 times the one before that, which is 5. And that's 9. And I did it again. You wouldn't think that would be that hard to remember. Okay, so let's check it right quick since I made a mistake on the other one. The third one would be 4 plus 2 times -3. I'm sorry, that'd be -3 plus 2 times 4. So that'd be 5. Sounds good. This one would be 5 plus -6, which would be -1. So that looks good. This one would be -1 plus 2 times 5 would be 10. That'd be 9. So that looks good. And we can click submit. And since I actually checked it this time, I don't have to worry about having made a mistake. Let's see if we can jump. A little further. There we go. Okay, so this is like one we started with. You can see that it asked for A5, but it didn't give us A3 or A4. So we have to have A3 and A4 in order to get to A5. So even though it didn't ask for them, we still got to find them. So if we want, we're going to find A3. So it says take negative the term before it, which is going to be -5, minus the term before that, which is going to be 3. All right, so A3 would be 2. I'm going to write that down just to make sure I don't lose it. All right, so A3 in our problem is going to be a 2. Right, we need to find A4. So we do negative the number before it, which was a 2, minus the number, I don't know why I did the parentheses, stop that, minus the number before it, which was the -5. Stop that. All right, that's 3. So I'm going to write that down. So A4 is 3. All right, then we want to find A5. Well, that's going to be negative the number before it, minus the number before that, which was 2, which is -5. And I did it again. Goodness. Now, if you notice, this is a neat one because my answers went 3, -5, 2, 3, -5. Guess what's going to happen on the next one? So it's going to just go through and repeat. I always thought that was kind of neat when they did that. All right, if it's got a fraction or something in it, don't worry about it. You just put the fraction in. So alpha y equals, enter 2/3 times the term before it. So it's 1, 2. The term before it's -57. Press enter. Oh, darn you. Over. Then -57. Press enter. Are you really not going to do this, calculator? In case you can't tell, it's not been a good day for me. Let's try parentheses, see if that's messing with it. There we go. Goodness gracious, -38. And I did it again. Now it's a time when I quit and go cry in a corner. All right, A3, we do 2/3 times the one before it, which was -38. And as the horrible fraction, but you got this little fraction button here, so fraction -76 over 3. And then we just keep going like that. I'm not going to finish it, not going to submit it, because I think I've messed up enough for now. For some reason the calculator hates me today. All right, but that's it. That's all there is to it. As long as you understand that an n-1 is a term before, n-2 is a term 2 before. I don't think they throw any of the pluses in there at you, but like I said, if it says +1, then that's, the next one in the order. If you know that, you should be fine. The rest of it's just typing the numbers in the calculator and making sure you don't make mistakes.